fact have been to 3 maps. It's been hard fought on every single occasion because, of course, let's remember the stakes that are at hand, and that is that teams are going home. Teams are leaving the tournament at this point if they're not finding the wins, so they are certainly fighting for everything that they can. The first couple of bans are going to come in. We've got a Ying, we've got an Ace, so it's slightly interesting. I mean, one of the hard breaches there. We've got a Bandit as well. Certainly not the norm.
No, normally hard breach on this map, you see Hibana or Maverick taken away. Hibana, because there are so many hatches to open when attacking on the downstairs, you can keep on cycling through them even with impact charges coming in onto the kitchen hatch. And the Maverick, because even when things like Kaid are available, he can still chew his way through those hatches. A Ying ban coming in against SSG is 0. I'll go back to the meme I made the other day, Tim. SSG not enjoying a Ying ban coming in. Often it can be their kryptonite on some maps. Maybe this one proves to be that exact map. And personally, I really like the Azami ban. I do enjoy Azami. She does bring a lot to the game, but does really slow things down as well. Creates a lot of frustration for the attackers. I think at this point, we're going to see a picked or banned basically in every single game. Presence will be very, very high across the whole competition. But here, she will not be available, which does open up the field to operators like Valkyrie and Mira, though, Tim.
It does, we've spoken about that a lot for the banning phases and how they are being sort of stretched at this point, and we're just getting, more and more opportunity for those regular bans to now start seeing play, and I'm here for it. I love it. I love seeing the variation. I love teams having to really scratch their head and think about how they're going to deal with those operators. Mira is going to be brought along immediately. M80 starting on the defense might actually suit them down to the ground. You've got SSG feel like they're on the ropes a little bit, and then you've got M80 starting on a strong side of Clubhouse, and they could well find themselves with a good advantage, and SSG having to fight back from that to keep themselves in the tournament.
For sure. Here we go then. See how SSG do on this side of things. The Mirror being deployed in towards blue. It's interesting, actually, because a couple of players were tweeting the other day and saying, you don't have enough time to do your full setup these days. There's, 30 seconds in, you might be getting rushed down by someone. Others saying, look, 45 seconds is plenty as long as your team have properly planned out what your setup is going to be. What I've enjoyed from M80 so far across both, across this map, is hard to say. It's only round 1, but they are adjusting where they're doing their setup, it seems, as things go by. A very heavy blue presence coming here makes me not so much nervous, but a smidge aware. They need to be able to hold down blue because they've got this mirror window facing in towards Moto and in towards Church, which basically locks the whole thing down. No mirror window coming onto the triple Church wall, though. Everything is said is on that east side. So if SSG read this well, they should know that main stairs might be a go-to play here. Combined together Moto, kitchen and main stairs, for example, feels like the way forwards.
Okay then, already taken possession of part of that top floor, starting to work their way across slowly but surely. Largely been given to them by M80, which sort of fits into the game plan that we've been seeing from them so far, so no surprises there. Rampy going to be using the opportunity of a little bit of safety to open those kitchen floors up from 3 floors up. He's going to be up in logistics, shooting all the way through, and that's going to give them the opportunity to get the hatch open. It may just breed a little bit more caution about impact tricking because the floor's been opened around the hatch.
Wonder where Yog was going to be then, because he was the only one with the impacts in back pocket to be able to deny this hatch being opened up, but it's done for free. No contest coming in from the other side. So I think it feels like SSG have got a read on the right sort of thing here. They've opened up kitchen, opened up Moto. They've got a couple of players starting to set up around main stairs as well, so they are looking to push into the air quotes weak side of the setup. But then I can't help but look at all the gadgetry in the back pocket of M80. There's 3 C4s ready to start tossing skywards over that wall, assuming of course it's reinforced the right way for it, to then start to really shut things down. So really they could have actually baited SSG here into a bit of a death box.
Certainly could have done. Hot and Cold's going to open up those feet holes in. He gets 1 denied, 2 denied. Doesn't have any ex-Kairos pellets left, so that is going to severely limit the angle there. Not fantastic. He gets a little bit of what he needs there. We've seen Palu over the years play this angle time and time again, just looking on into sight from the bottom of main stairs to try and cut down the rotations inside of sight. Well, my magnet's going to do its job there and just prevent that nade coming into Spirits. 18 seconds left to go. This is going to be very late from SSG.
It's a really good read as well from M80. I feel like they planned for everything here and have a solution. Hot and cold in the spot to be able to challenge Kino with one with the shotgun. Goes for a second, but no, the long distance spray down comes in. They're absolutely slaughtering SSG. If you want to see how to counter a team, that's the way to do it. What a brilliant setup and round.
Flawless round there coming in. Absolutely fantastic stuff from SSG. Sorry, not from SSG, from M80.
Not brilliant stuff there, Tim.
SSG came up on the screen. You'll allow me my one mistake. It was brilliant. Spirits on the door, particularly. We've seen this position, you know, just preventing access into Moto with the shotgun, played brilliantly. I love that from M80. Absolutely dominating.
For me, again, it was how the mirror window out towards the east actually set up as kind of a deterrent, but also a bait in towards attacking main stairs. They had the... part of it, truthfully, I kind of want to put on SSG. Banning away the Ace, I think, was an interesting one because they don't want to bring the Maverick. There's no electrification. Why bother? You've got the Thatcher for that. Which means really they're looking at both the Hibana and the Thermite to be the things that get them on towards site there. But they've relied on everything. 8x Kairos pellets on towards the church wall was all they were really looking for. And outside of that, they were pushing into bottlenecks. So it was a really good response from M80 to shut that down quite early on. Maybe less on SSG to not want to get the triple wall completely opened up, really kind of shoehorn themselves into either pushing into mirror windows, dropping in towards kitchen as a death drop, or trying to force your way through Moto door, and M80 just had the shutdown ready. Really well played.
Yep, it was looking good for them. Now then, we go into round 2. M80 going to move up to gym and bedroom this time around, so it's going to be their first chance at the top floor, and then we'll see what comes as the third chance pick should they win this site. Will it be CCTV cash or will it be bar and stage?
Excellent question.
A little bit of a leaning towards both at different times through the tournament, so we will see exactly how that goes. For the time being, it's largely a site-based presence for M80 here. About the furthest they've extended out is Yoga at the top of red stairs. Diaz is playing cash sort of very loosely, more in construction than anything. So it's not going to take too much, I don't think, from SSG to force them back.
A little bit of flexibility being offered in construction with two players here who could very quickly step across and look to contest. And going back to what we heard on Theme Park, Tim, M80 aren't really too keen on aggressing into SSG early in the round. If I think back to teams like G2 with Doki, they like to be challenging at basically every single window they have the opportunity to try and shut you down in the early round. Whereas M80 kind of back themselves to play well around the utility use of SSG, and so far they're doing just that. They are going through shields, they are being forced back, but they don't really seem to mind that. It's like trying to box with shadows. It's really hard for SSG to convert a kill because they're a little bit slow. They're not very good at pincering onto players or isolating them. Here, for example, opening up the single construction wall first might have been nice, or challenging on towards the construction window, but it's only just been opened. So M80 saying, look, we know how you guys play. We know we'll be able to deal with anything you throw at us because you're not particularly adept at getting a pincer in.
Rotero drone is going to go in and just start to try and clear Yoga out of that position, but he's alert and alive to the danger, manages to take it down, keep his shield intact. We see Shaco, of course, playing in that spot so frequently, so regularly. It's not close enough. It's not going to be able to get the shield. They're going to have to keep on trying here.
He impacted it out because I think he was worried it was too close.
Yeah, exactly. Whilst Yoga's in that position, it's just going to leave it very, very difficult for SSG to push forward, and time is seriously ticking by.
Surely that's not it as well. Like, that's all SSG have got to be able to throw at that shield, and now it's going to be able to impede them. Rampy's probably the only one left when you look at it with frag grenades that can make a difference, but I guarantee you there are going to be magnets inside of there. Again, surely M80 have not locked them out here just through that one simple bit of play, but it feels like they might. Gomez looking to challenge a nade coming in from Rampy here to try and put a little bit of support in. Will he find anyone? No, he won't. It's overcooked.
SSG need kills desperately here, but they're just not finding them, and they're not forthcoming. Rampy doesn't want to drop the hatch at the minute because of the smoke. Fultz is going to find the kill onto Gomez, though. That gets things going for SSG. Toxic Babe canister goes out. It's going to be the final one. The opportunity is here. 15 seconds left to go. It's go time, SSG. You need to move in and start thinking about a plan. Yoga stood in the middle of site. He's going to hold them off. He's going to be full white flashed in a second. Kills going either way. 2 versus 3 as it shakes down. 2 versus 2. Where's that diffuser though? Bosco, he's going to be able to put it down. Out comes one impact. Out comes another, but it won't stop him. 2 kills to be found. That's 1. That's 2. Unbelievable clutch from Kino. All he has to do is disable the activated diffuser, and that is going to absolutely batter the mental of SSG.
I love how he celebrated even before things have got underway with the actual disable there, but he had all the time in the world. SSG doing good to at least get an execute off there with the numbers advantage, but that clutch potential out of Kino coming through, and they get the shutdown.
Well, that is, it's, I won't say catastrophic, but it's certainly bad news for SSG. It is a tough loss to take, and they are starting to stack up now. Theme Park obviously felt like a tough loss for them. We saw that at the end of the game. You know, and every round that they lose like that is just going to feel like it's piling up, and like the fate is more and more sealed. We're going to head over to CCTV and Cash for round 3, and M80 starting to look like they might just have hit cruise control.
Well, the one thing I kind of want to give is it's a balance of karma in a way, right? Again, not forgetting how the first 2 rounds went back on Theme Park, where SSG arguably snagged a couple of rounds that they shouldn't have. This is M80 getting at least 1 back on their side from that round with Kino having a nice clutch coming out. I can't help but ignore how the first 2 minutes of that last round went, though. I know that ultimately SSG managed to pull off an execute in relatively good fashion, but prior to that, it felt like they were stalling out against some real bare basics coming out from M80. You know, they got through the shield at the top of top red, great. They started working through construction, and then got themselves stuck and able to get rid of a shield despite having frag grenades on side, 4 Roteros on side, and not unable either to move Gomez out of Logi until the very end of the round. So it felt like they were kind of following a checklist, but just couldn't fully complete everything off, and at the end said, well, what we've got is what we've got. We've got to try and make it work from here. Not the most prepared, you know, SSG I've ever seen, especially for Clubhouse.
Going to be getting that East Breach open nice and quickly, as we would expect. Thatcher Charge is going to just assist in that process. So that's pretty much
40 seconds done.
Yeah, we would expect that. This is why we don't always see Cash and CCTV as much anymore. The real key, to be honest, is not the wall, it's Spirits in this position on Catwalk. As long as he can keep himself here, that's going to be the sticking point. Interested
to find out why, and I'd love to ask them later on potentially, you know, why we've got DS playing top red here when you've got the Jaeger being the one playing inside a garage. Because normally your sticker will mine there to keep on tossing these discs around and make it really hard to force them out. The main reason I could think of is they're not expecting a big garage presence to come through, just a little bit of one, and Spirits is in there to bait his, to lose his life, essentially, to really commit towards this. Now, that seems to be the play for SSG, as they've got 2 or 3 players starting to really ramp up here to start their march forward. Those 2 ADSs will not last long, though, in the face of those smokes, or the flashes, sorry, coming out of Bosco, and the frag grenades from Rampy that will follow afterwards.
Going to push the shield in, try to deal with that top floor. Glaz is just walking in through the smoke as well. The thing is, it's a one-shot chance is the problem. Fultz is taking a lot of damage from the Toxic Babe canister there, and you threw your smoke canisters. You don't have many more opportunities. Gomez is down in oil pit, and this could prove to be a real problem. Fultz has been forced back out, and now Spirits, he does have the Monty to deal with, which won't be easy. He needs a little bit of support here, really. If they can get this kill, that is fantastic. But no, Gomez from underneath does great work. It is going to see Spirits downed, but there is an opportunity for M8 to keep that pressure on Catwalk.
Again, you've got so many nades that you can chuck up here as well. Flashes in Bosco's back pocket are largely unused and really could have made this a much more advantageous fight coming in. Only now are they coming through, and it feels a little bit too late at this point. You knew that he was down. They've burned through it a little bit late, but the damage has been done. They've lost the Monty for, I don't want to say no reason, but that really shouldn't be happening.
No, it shouldn't. Fultz has got himself up to the position where he can start pressure inside now. SSG do have almost everything they need to get a plant down here. The big problem that they've got is the players underneath. They haven't dealt with them. As soon as they try to put that diffuser down, it's likely that we're going to see that Nitro coming into play, that we're going to see Gomez on the Solis, making life difficult. The Thatcher EMPs to potentially deny any pre-placed Nitro, but it's a little bit too late. 7 seconds left to go. They're going to have to rush this SSG.
Gomez
they need to start getting the diffuser down. It looks like the call has come to go for kills. Fultz in the last second is going to try to do it, but surely Gomez is able to deny.
Hello, I was going to say, surely he finishes this off. Had to run through a wall first, get into stock, and then go for the spray. But Tim, I can't help but go back to what I said about the last round. It feels very bare basic checklist coming out of SSG. That one was okay, open East Breach, take control of Garage. Oh, we forgot about the nades, though. We can use those towards the end. When they've got control of Garage, there is no one contesting on the below, and yeah, let's have a listen.
Because it does seem like they're giving us a lot of space to you know, do whatever we're gonna do. So let's make sure we're using it and we give ourselves enough time. Like the gym round like came down the last second, so.
Let's just try to take a zone fast this round. Wherever they are.
Yeah, changing pace will be good against these guys. Yep.
Yeah. If they go back lower, we should just do that dirt. Kitch dirt with, just leave me blue. I can just play cat blue. I'll just get him out of blue and like box blue and just fuck with them. Or you meet solo.
Could we try to take Garage fast and like, push to Goose like quick? Because this guy runs down red like off me.
Yeah, I'll watch Secret. I'll play that Secret.
I'll get him Garage.
They don't play Raptors. They don't play Raptors.
Really sad.
Kind of comes back to what I said earlier on about wanting to try and pincer onto a player or two from M80. You know, the reason why they're giving you space, guys, ultimately is they know that you're not going to be able to punish them. They're happy to just slowly move their way back as you step forward and then pick you off when the execute or the late round in general comes around. But I'm not surprised the tactical timeout comes in there, Tim. They're down 3-0. It's their map pick. It's not looking good for SSG. They have to turn it around here and now.
They do. The part of the problem, I think, as well, I like the tactical timeout more than I did previously. I think there was, you know, a more specific focus there. You know, it was very much about, right, let's do this, let's move in there quickly, let's take that area, you know, and there were specifics there, rather than at the end of Theme Park, where, as I say, it felt a bit more like, you know, sort of lacking that confident approach of, you know, sort of committed to, this is what we're going to do. But yeah, SSG at the minute, they're on the back foot, and I'm worried that they're already beaten.
I have a feeling it's going that way as well. Now, I like faults on the Twitch here. Last time round we spoke about, it's a basically identical setup coming out from M80 on the downstairs, by the way. 2 mirror windows out towards the east, triple reinforced off entirely. No electrification or anything along those lines coming in, but I think the Twitch here could be the difference maker. If he can get rid of those 2 mirror windows, suddenly that blue side of the map becomes a little bit of a death trap for the side of M80. They won't be able to play around it. A lot of the site will be very opened up, and SSG should absolutely look to get control of blue, assuming they can get those mirror windows, though.
Church and Arsenal will be the defensive site for M80. Pretty much all on the downstairs. They're going to be playing this turtle, so SSG will have their opportunity that they wanted, which was to move in quickly, take space, and use what was being given to them. So let's see if they can make that pay dividends. They're a minute into the round. There is still a little bit of drawing going on, but SSG are starting to establish themselves.
Definitely. And again, for me, it's these shock drones. They are going to be the big difference now. If these get whiffed down dirt and just get taken out for free, then that's a real issue. There's going to be 1 gone, 1 left faults. Don't waste it.
That's it, as you say, really need to find the value out of them. Going to start with the process of trying to open the kitchen hatch. I think they might just get that immediately. Doesn't sound like it's being tricked out at all. We've got Spirits with the little nitro toss ready. We know that kill box at the bottom of main stairs can be a nightmare for attackers. SSG making good progress though, halfway through the round. Kitchen hatch open, looking to open dirt now. They're going to have to do some work to be able to push down there, because they've got Kino on the smoke playing in there, and he's going to resist as much as he can. But not terrible so far. It's looking good.
I'm nervous. Hot and cold burn through all his ex-Kairos. That means Bosco is the only one here who can open up triple wall on the downstairs if they choose to push that direction. But there are still 2 impacts left in Yoga's back pocket. M80 can read into that. They can deny the exothermic if it goes down onto the triple wall, which then really means the mirror window is still intact, that SSG don't really have an ideal place to attack. Attack is going to be forced again. Hot and cold trying to work his way down through dirt here. Don't mind this too much. Spirits hits the deck as 1 comes down blue, and it is faults.
Going to be moving his way around, just trying to hold the angle onto the rotation there. It's going to have to be a real 3-2-1, and it looks like that's it, but it's not going to work out as Diaz steps up.
And no one else
manages to find the kill onto Hot and Cold, and that is going to be no access to Dirt Tunnel by the looks of it. That is the push over from there. So SSG, they're going to have to work from 2 angles at most, but dropping Kitchen Hatch without Dirt Tunnel is a difficult thing to do, and this is exactly why they're dropping into crossfires. There's kills left, right, and centre for M80 at the minute. Rampy, he manages to find 1, but surely it's just a consolation, Des. 10 seconds left to go, and he's just trying to find anything he can, but it is over in round 4 for SSG. Kino seals the deal, and that's M80 going 4-0 up on Clubhouse.
Executed with perfection.
I have not felt this frustrated watching a team play Siege in a long time. Like, this is your map. You are known for your performances on Clubhouse, but these attacks, it sounds bad, but I've seen better from like teams in T4 and T3 over in the UK. Like, what is going on, boys? The bare basics are missing here. We're not dealing with the mirror windows. We're not opening triple. We're burning through all of our utility in really silly, unneeded places. And they're finding themselves having to force a drop coming in through kitchen with one person trying to backstab up blue. That's not SSG. That's not the team that's won an Invitational before. That's not the team that we saw earlier on today against Heroic. What is going on?
Okay then, Gym and Bedroom. Gym and Bedroom, M80 won this back in round 2, reasonably convincingly as well. The problem for SSG, that just couldn't clear Yoga out, was the top and bottom of it. He played inside of construction in what is, you know, quite commonly known as the Sharko spot, just inside of the doorway. He had his shield. There was nothing SSG could do to clear him, and they had to then just go elsewhere. They had to try and drop logistics hatch. They had to try and get other things going, and it just led them into the guns of M80 and was a big, big problem. So SSG, you got to do something different here. You know, I'd maybe like to see them open jacuzzi wall. Let's get hold of CCTV. Let's apply some window pressure. You know, let's not play into that setup again.
They've got to turn something around, and I don't know if Blitz is going to be the answer to that, Tim.
No.
With nade, this is not a good start.
I feel like it is clutching at straws a little bit.
I mean, across 4 rounds to have how many kills in the team? 7? You know, that's less than 2 per round. That's how uninspiring and unimpactful it currently feels. And one of those came down to a really tight round in a 1 versus 1 as well. You know, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse if I keep on going on about it, but it's your map pit. We have to see better. Fult's working his way up towards main stairs. Wonder if he has information from his team here. With a little bit of info, they'll know there's a player inside of Logi. They can look to strike. It's Spirits holding up there, who's slightly exposed. Does have a second player nearby as well. So if Fult's times this right, and timing is the issue that's felt a little bit off for SSG in both maps, has been when players move, they tend to move alone. Everyone else then follows 10 seconds later. It has to be at the same time. If he's going to backstab, something else has to be happening to distract M80.
Absolutely. I think M80 have potentially left the door open here. There's no barbed wire, there's no proximity alarm, there's no Banshee. I know that, you know, we don't necessarily have the operators for those, but my point is there is nothing on those main stairs to signal that somebody's pushing up there. Spirits has had a little face check there, but I just don't think they've got any idea about Fultz's presence, and this could actually be a really big play from SSG. Like you say, Des, it comes down to timing. What they need to do is take M80's eye off the ball so that Fultz can come in and get a couple of freebies.
I mean, I like the patience being shown by Fultz. He's hoping someone rotates across the top here. So far, okay, I don't know what that was meant to be, but now because again, because he's alone, and now, okay, they've tried to make a move. Hot and Cold has come in here at the same time. They haven't cleared away the mine magnets. They have no real control. They're inside of Gym. They're looking for something here, but no one's making a move happen. They've still got a player up on the roof. Why is there not an execute coming through together, guys? It's falling apart at the seams.
Hot and Cold's on his own at the minute. He's just been forced back by the Toxic Babe canister. Yeti is looking to push in behind him to try and support a little bit, but it just feels like a brick wall again. Hot and Cold, is he going to go for the plant? He's got himself in behind the gym equipment, but I'm just not sure that he's in position, Des, and he's not. As Spirits manages to find him, that puts the Diffuser down inside of sight, and this is looking like another M80 round. It could be flawless, Des. This is turning into an absolute nightmare for SSG.
It's not even close. I was waiting for someone from M80 to round in towards Cash CC and get a spray out the west window, as there was no real cover coming in from there. Rampy was up on the roof when we had Hot and Cold pushing in. Fultz admittedly got swung. I can't really fault him too much there, but they're being given so much room. Why is Spirits being allowed to swing when you guys are trying to push in through the west breach? Now, I feel like a broken record, like I'm going in on them for no reason here, but it's infuriating. We know they can do so much better, but M80 are making them look like a Randstad that has never spoken to each other before, and they are destroying them here. Again, a flawless round comes through. They've had 7 kills across the last 5 rounds. It's just, it's not good enough. It's the kind of thing that isn't becoming of a team that belongs to stay at SI, Tim.
It's, to be honest, not the way that you want to see SSG leave the tournament, if I'm honest. You know, I don't want to see this happen to any team, but we've got, you know, a former championship winning organisation potentially going to limp out on a 7-0. You know, that is how it's shaping up at the minute. There doesn't seem to be anything they can do. A couple of rounds ago, I said that it looked like SSG were already beaten, and this is exactly what I mean. You know, it just seems like they're out of ideas, and they just don't know what is going to turn this around. And M80, they've certainly smelt that blood in the water, Des. They're circling, and they are ready to take a chunk out of SSG at any given opportunity.
It's emotional for me because I really care about SSG. I really like the boys. I really like Lycan and what he's all about as well. I love the history they've got behind them. And maybe it's channeling a little too hard on them, but again, I really want to see more. I just want to see them deliver that bit of magic that we've seen historically. Fair play to M80, by the way. I know I've not really spoke too much about them the last few rounds, but they have been the team that have really showed up on this map. You know, SSG can't get any early engagements because they aren't giving it to them. They can't take fast ground because M80 at least are doing holds where they have got a bit of utility scattered around, players holding certain areas, forcing SSG to drone. It just feels like they've got the right answer to SSG's playstyle here, and that question of, will M80 be able to kind of break that 2-1 record that they've lost across the year? They were down 2-1 in terms of games against SSG. The answer so far is looking very definitively to be yes.
Yoga just holding that tight angle. It's always a nasty one to try and challenge into. You can see through the little hole in the metal bar onto the bedroom door. And so he's just going to try and prevent any push coming in from that side of things. The thing is for M80 now, this is their third choice site. So even if they lose this round, they don't really mind too much, to be honest. A problem for SSG is still going to be catwalk. Spirits is playing on there. Now, the catwalk can prevent a plant coming in from construction side. He's got the line of sight that he needs through the door, so it's something SSG need to deal with, because if they think that they can just push in through construction, they're going to need a lot of luck, and they need very precise positioning on any plant attempt to make sure that the backside isn't sticking out to a point where Spirits can see it.
Although they've got this little stack in towards Garage, SSG are trying to go on the other side, straight into a C4 as well. Not the ideal. Did he manage to get the construction wall open there? Can we take a quick look, please, Observer? A little bit, but kind of no.
Can't walk through
Bosco is not going to be able to get up to that and open it either. So that stays closed. They've got a single doorway to now try and attack through.
I don't want to just focus on the negative of SSG.
I do, apparently.
The thing is, we've got to say that M80 have done well.
They have.
You know, they haven't had to play perfectly because there have been mistakes from SSG. But you can, as I always say, you can only beat what's in front of you. And M80 are doing a fantastic job of that at the minute. They are beating SSG up. They're bullying them. They are hitting them at every opportunity. And I've been really impressed with what I've seen from M80.
Good name to the back corner, then almost caught out. I think Kino, the shield being taken away here. In comes Yeti.
Got to win.
Oh,
Got to win.
No. I mean, you had his backside and didn't manage to finish him off. Rampy gets the naked on the other side, but look, this is what I mean. The wall stays closed. 3 players have to come in through a single window or doorway here. They are so restricted on options. There are 10 seconds to go. It looks to be another slaughter.
You might recall me about 2 minutes ago saying that Spirits on Garage Catwalk could be a real problem for SSG, and that is exactly why. From that position, you can deny anybody coming in through construction door, construction wall, and CCTV window, and that is ultimately where SSG were left with. They are in serious trouble right now at SR.
Look. 3 stacked up on a doorway. Like, I like the fact they changed their mind a little bit and thought, let's not try and attack Garage, let's not go East Breach again, let's try something different. I'm all for that. But it feels like as soon as they lost the Hibana and the wall wasn't fully opened off, there was 0 chance Bosco gets up to that wall, because C4s, impact nades, whatever God sends may well come through that wall and destroy the exothermics. You're stuck then trying to go through 3 people through a single doorway, or trying to go in through the west window. Like, genuine car crash attacks. Really not good.
Not good at all. Let's see if SSG can improve at all on the defense. I really would expect them to. You know, can they turn a 6-0 around? I'm not sure they can. If I'm honest, from the tactical timeouts that we've seen, from the footage that we've seen of the teams, I just don't feel that they are in the right space to be turning over a 6-0, if I'm honest. We'll believe it when we see it.
All right.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see this go to overtime. But M80 right now just feel like they are absolutely rolling on a downhill at the minute, and there's nothing that's going to stop the boulder that is currently, you know, tearing away and picking up speed.
Whew, okay. I've seen crazier things. We've seen 6-0s become 8-6.
It can happen.
It was down on 0 before. Just don't really feel like M80 are going to be a team to let that opportunity slip through their fingers, especially given the lack of fragging power that we have seen from SSG. It's a shame because, again, Theme Park was so close. Really thought we'd see a closer affair, and maybe we are yet to be. But given they've been 7-0 twice so far here, I want to say, Tim, A third time wouldn't surprise me.
Hot and Cold's got himself into a fight and he's come out on the wrong end of that one. Gomez, he's dipped back away from it for the time being, but Hot and Cold is almost out of the round. Fultz manages to find Gomez though. That is a big start for SSG. It's exactly what they needed. They can only take this one round at a time, and I like that they've still had the aggression, they've still had you know, the initiative to get out on the defence and use that roam, get aggressive, and they've not just sort of whimpered out by sitting inside of sight.
No, getting out there and causing a little bit of disruption. I almost went, no, then, like you would have, Tim. No, just that's how I felt the entire game, to be fair with you so far. Yes, they're down number. At the very least, they've managed to get themselves that entry kill. It's a starting point. It's the Iana off the board. It's Gomez, who's having a fantastic game so far. Completely with that as well. But there are 4 other players that are also having a brilliant game up to this point and could still look to swing this one around. We've got 90 seconds with which to play.
Kino's going to open up the kitchen hatch and they're going to try to at least apply a little bit of pressure down underneath. Out goes an impact nade. That's just going to slow down that process a little bit from SSG. And they, at least now, are feeling secure for the time being. The next couple of kills are going to be particularly important. They're going to continue that process of just preventing the hatch open. It will be opened eventually. It is just about time at this point. Now, the thing is, I look at like Spirits above Blue Hatch, something like that, a little backstab from M80 could just end everything here.
Well, this is what we were sort of asking for back on Theme Park from SSG as well, as the ability to, you know, send a Nook travelling up somewhere, just get a little backstab in and upset the defenders there, you know, give them something else to think about other than just the one direction of where they're basing themselves entirely. So maybe they are trying to go through something similar here. You've got Diaz trying to work his way down through dirt, poke his way forwards. Spirit looking for a drop on the other side. There is a bit of a multi-prong push coming in here, but SSG might be well dug in.
There's nobody inside of Blue at the minute, and Spirits is able to just drop. He's going to start advancing from Blue. M80 have got themselves inside, and this could be a problem. SSG can't really move too far here. As you can see, Spirits holding it down, but no, SSG have responded. They've found a couple of kills. They put the diffuser down, and it's a flawless round, and exactly the start that SSG needed for the first of 6 rounds that they will need in a row to keep themselves in SSI 2023.
SSI.
Too many S's.
There is a lot going on there,
SSG,
Tim.
SI, too many S's.
There is. Well, with that one little round coming in, you saw a little spark of life coming into the comms there for SSG. The entry kill they got, the shutdown they had, good start, M80 falling apart in the 1. Not forgetting M80 do still have their tactical timeout to employ here if they so choose, and we do have to see a full 3-site rotation coming out of SSG. Even if they hold on here, it will have to be Cash GC or Bar and Stage. Here we go then, with Gym and Bedroom, a bit of a lockdown attempt coming in as well from SSG with that Kaid on side from Bosco, but as we've seen throughout the entirety of this game so far, the Thatcher is available.
The big concern that I'm sure SSG fans are feeling right now is obviously the third choice side. You know, it's great. They absolutely have to be winning their primary and secondary, and I'm not going to take that away from them. They've just locked down Church and Arsenal, flawless round, absolutely brilliant, what they needed. They're going to need to do the same here, Gym and Bedroom, as their second choice. The problem then is winning Bar and Stage or CCTV and Cash, and the fact they don't just have to do it once, they've got to do it twice, and that is potentially going to be a little bit of an issue for them. We will see how M80 do. It's going to be an initial attack onto Gym and Bedroom, and it looks like they're shaping up for a jacuzzi wall open. I'd maybe like to see split pressure, get themselves inside Cash CCTV. The thing is, what they want to do now is make SSG feel like there's absolutely nowhere they can turn. They just need to make SSG feel like, you know, everything's hopeless, effectively.
Yeah, which means being careful about getting caught on the entry, right? Although we've seen M80 kind of on their defensive side dancing around a little bit, giving, you know, SSG a lot of room, but also not giving away too much for free. But on the other side of things here, it feels like SSG are trying to go a little bit more aggressively. Wall being opened up. This is the one as Electric Force gets deployed here inside the Bandit one. Sees him, but doesn't take the shot.
I think just maybe a little resolution thing. It's always worth remembering that the players, you know, obviously have their own settings, and we have settings for the stream. So what we can see, maybe they can't always quite see, and they do get lost in scopes and things like that. Rampy is going to be moving around on the Solus underneath, looking for that potential push up red stairs as well. Something M80 certainly need to be aware of. They've actually made decent progress so far. M80. They've got the jacuzzi wall open. I think they've impacted and opened the back bathroom wall, so that's going to prevent them playing inside of shower. Now here comes the knock up main stairs. It was something that Fultz tried to do but wasn't successful with. Can Gomez have a little bit more success?
I can't help ignore that eventuality with Fultz previously. I think they've got something pinged out here, so they know what's going on. A bit of a nade to come through, so then let him get the Malusi without a swing coming in. Good response, takes that away, which now means really Gomez is somewhat invisible. Oh, if not for the nade coming through, if it was cooked a bit better, it would have got a kill. Gomez finding Fultz, finds a second as well. He's torn SSG apart. 3 left standing, only 2 as Gomez has gone nuclear. A 10 and 2, almost finds a next, but Rampy keeps it alive.
It's looking like this could be the beginning of the end for SSG, but they dig in the heels. There's Rampy's managed to find a double, but full white flash is not going to help. He's looking to prevent any diffuser going down. Pressure from the top of main stairs. Rampy does know that it's there. He's going to try to battle, but he's being forced back deep into logistics. There's an opportunity for M80 to think about getting the diffuser down, but they need to make it happen. Kino, he goes in and gets a kill onto Rampy, gets himself a second, and M80, they will win. They will progress in the lower bracket of SI23, and that is a resounding 7-1 win against former world champions Space Station Gaming.
We do have liftoff for those former world champions, but sadly it's the plane home. They go home with a 7-1 ending map loss on, again, their map choice. A close first map, but a really good one as well from M80. Again, can't take anything away from them. Felt like they had SSG's number there on both sets of defenses. Attack's not flawless all the way through, as we saw, but a really good show overall. And very excited to see, truthfully, where M80 go next. Because although they started out slow with Diaz not putting up the big numbers, he really warmed into that series as well.
A tough day so far for a number of the regions. LATAM have lost a couple of teams. NA starting to struggle. EU lost one as well. It's certainly been spread around. Nobody is coming away unscathed from today at SI.